Over half the games in the NHL today went into extra time, either a shootout or overtime. Let's go over what happened in each game very quickly, the scores, and what these playoff implications mean. Starting off with the Flyers taking on the New York Islanders. The Flyers, they end up winning this one 4-3 in overtime after a couple leads given back and forth for each team. This doesn't mean anything for these two teams as they are both eliminated from playoff contention. The Florida Panthers, they beat the Buffalo Sabres 3-2 in overtime. No, in a shootout. This just gives the Florida Panthers 2 extra points towards their climb to try to get home ice advantage in the first round against probably the Tampa Bay Lightning in the Battle of Florida. The Winnipeg Jets, they beat the Chicago Blackhawks 5-4 in a shootout, a close game that not many people saw coming. It was very close up until the end, obviously, because it was tie game the whole time. But as we go on, the Jets, they clinched top spot in the Western Conference for the first time in Winnipeg Jets history. Absolutely amazing accomplishment. You got to give credit where credit is due. The Toronto Maple Leafs, they beat the Montreal Canadiens 1-0. It was 0-0 heading into overtime. Mitch Marner scores about just over 30 seconds into the overtime period to get the Leafs that victory. The Leafs, they still haven't quite clinched that top spot in the Atlantic Division, but they are inching ever so closely to doing so. The Minnesota Wild, they come back from being 2 down to the Vancouver Canucks, ending up winning 3-2 in overtime thanks to Matt Zuccarello. The Wild, this is a massive 2 points for them in the standings. They are now ahead of the St. Louis Blues and Calgary Flames, who are both chasing them in the standings. Speaking of the St. Louis Blues, the Seattle Kraken, they beat the St. Louis Blues 4-3 in the shootout. It was a very back and forth game. I don't know if either team had a lead of more than 1 goal, but it was Chandler Stevenson getting the game-winning goal in the shootout. Grubauer getting the game-winning save at the very end. Awesome time for Kraken's fans or Kraken players to come through for the Calgary Flames. If the Calgary Flames, who did not play tonight, they have 3 games remaining, while the other 2, Minnesota and St. Louis, only have 1 game left. The Calgary Flames must go 2 wins, 0 regulation losses, and 1 overtime loss. They can go 3-0, and they probably would make the playoffs if they did that, but they still have to play Vegas. They play San Jose. I forget who the other team is, the Kings, I think, but they have to have 0 regulation losses in order to want to be in the playoffs. Back to the other games that were on the schedule today. The Carolina Hurricanes beat up on the New York Rangers 7-3. I should talk about how I did in my predictions. I went 8 for 11. The one that I got wrong was the St. Louis. No, it wasn't. It was the Minnesota Wild beating the Canucks. It was the Utah Hockey Club taking on the Stars. I predicted the Stars. The Utah Hockey Club, they win 5-3. And the other one that I got wrong, I did not see coming whatsoever. It was the Washington Capitals losing 7-0 to the Columbus Blue Jackets. How does that happen? I kind of see where it happened because the Washington Capitals started a guy in, I think it was his first ever career NHL game. A lot of people on Twitter were like, who is this guy? He got blown out of the water and just was not a good day at all for the Washington Capitals. Up next, we got the LA Kings taking on the Colorado Avalanche. The Kings, they hold on to win 5-4. The Kings and Oilers are now confirmed to be playing each other in the first round of the playoffs for the 4th year in a row. It kind of sounds like what the Leafs and Bruins used to be doing back in the day, but it is crazy. They are now still jockeying for who gets home ice advantage. It looks like it will be the Kings, but time will tell. The only other game that we have to cover that didn't go into extra time was the Vegas Golden Knights taking on the Nashville Predators. The Vegas Golden Knights, they win 5-3, and they maintain that top spot in the Pacific Division. That is what caused the Edmonton Oilers and LA Kings to be playing each other in the first round once again. So congratulations to the Vegas Golden Knights winning the division for like the 3rd year in their existence. Absolutely incredible that what they have done since they've been in the league. So congratulations to them. That's all I got. Huge playoff implications for the Wilds, Blues, and the Flames. The Flames, they are in a bit of a pickle. They did not get much help from outside of their own organization today, but it is in their hands. They can do it. They just got to beat some good teams along the way. They play the Sharks tomorrow night here in Calgary, so let's hope that goes well for them. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. It means the absolute world to me. Let me know how you did on your predictions. I went 8 for 11, and we will talk to you tomorrow for more predictions. And Let me know if you want me to do any more different content for the playoffs. I would be absolutely open to listen to some suggestions. Thanks for everything. Have a great night.